It's another week, another edition of Sundays with Serby, and this week the New York Post sports columnist Steve Serby, who is a legend, caught up with another New York sports legend, former radio host on WFAN. That would be Joe Benigno. So let's talk to Steve about his latest Q&A with Joe Benigno. Steve, how you doing, man?
Good, Dex. How about you? I could listen to Benigno for hours.
I spent many hours listening to Benigno growing up, listening to the fans. So you can always talk to him, and we rooted for similar teams, so we know the pain. We'll talk about the pain in a second. Steve, with the Jets being on Hard Knocks this year, how does Mr. Benigno feel about their selection, and what is he looking forward to seeing from his team on the show?
Well, Joe Benigno hates the Jets being on Hard Knocks. He thinks it'll be a distraction. Rex Ryan, as you recall, was the star of the show back in 2010 when the Jets did make it that year to the AFC Championship game. But Benigno is certain that Robert Saleh will not embrace it the way Rex did. But Aaron Rodgers will be the star of the show, without a doubt. All content will go through him, and Rodgers will handle it. He was just quoted a couple of days ago as saying that the Hard Knocks was forced down our throats, but he's been around. He knows how to operate. The Jets will view the content, and Aaron Rodgers will control it, and he will embrace every part of his part of the show. But Benigno has been waiting for a championship for 55 years. He was 15 when Joe Namath pulled off the Super Bowl III upset of the Colts. Benigno says nobody is chanting 1968 the way Ranger fans chanted 1940, and now the Jet drought, the championship drought, is beyond the Rangers' 54-year drought at 55. So Benigno he doesn't care about watching the personalities or the entertainment value of Hard Knocks. He just wants his team to win a championship before he dies.
That's all he wants. And he always said that he feels like when he did pass away, he'd always said this on the radio, that would be the year after, of course, that the Jets would win. He said that many times before, but we want to see him win a championship. We want to see it for you, Joe. I know Steve would like to see it too. So when it comes to Joe, Mr. Benigno, many New York sports fans and listeners of WFAN, they'll think of his infamous, "oh, the pain" phrase, and much of that is associated with unpleasant New York Jets memories, Steve. How does Joe feel about Gangrene's chances of winning a Super Bowl this season? We know he wants to see it, but does he think this group can get it done?
Well, he thinks it's a realistic view, but being the Jet fan, he is cautiously optimistic, not plain optimistic, cautiously optimistic, because what can go wrong often does go wrong with the Jets. But he believes Aaron Rodgers has a lot left in the tank. Obviously, the Jets do. Rodgers is 39. He'll be 40 in December. But he was the missing piece. And the Jets are all in on Aaron Rodgers, Flight 23 Ascension. And if Rodgers wins, Rodgers can do for the Jets what Mark Messier did for the Rangers in '94. And Benigno and the Jet brass is convinced that Aaron Rodgers is driven to win that elusive second Super Bowl for him, and first Super Bowl, of course, for the Jets since Joe Willie did it in 1969. Now, Joe will not settle for anything less than a division title. He believes the division is there for the taking. He thinks the Dolphins are overrated. He thinks the Bills are overrated. He knows the Patriots are dangerous because of Belichick, but Belichick hasn't done a lot of winning since Tom Brady left, and Benigno doesn't think Mac Jones is worth much. So it's there for the taking. Benigno desperately wants a division title and the first home playoff game since 2002. And I asked him how he would celebrate if Aaron Rodgers was able to deliver that championship. And he told me he hasn't had a drink in over 10 years. But if the Jets were to win a championship this year, And even if Aaron Rodgers wins and rides off into the sunset, Benigno will be okay with that. But he will celebrate with a double Beefeater martini. So we'll all be toasting to Joe Benigno if the Jets win a championship.
We will. A lot of Jets fans feel like him. That's a very specific. He knows exactly what drink he wants to celebrate. I like that. I can like that there. I can like that.
I mean, who's a bigger Jet fan than Joe Benigno? Nobody.
Hey, he's one of the biggest we've known in New York sports media. We've known as one of the biggest Jets fans out there for sure.
Well, that's why he's got his twice a week podcast called appropriately "Oh the Pain."
Oh the Pain. That is the name of the podcast. Check that out. Also check out Steve's Q&A with Joe Benigno. It's a good one. The Jets fans are sure to like it. Fans of WFAN who listened to him for many years, they're sure to like it as well. Steve, another good Q&A. It was nice. It got a legend with a legend. I like that in New York sports. That was good. Glad they were able to bring you two together and have you guys do the Q&A.
And a legend talking about two legends.
You're always...
No, one legend. Benigno, not me. I'm not a legend.
You are a legend. You're always too kind. Thank you, Steve. Have a great week.
Thank you, Dex. Thank you.